Hey everyone, this is Samantha with A Wealthy Hairstylist, and thanks for chiming back in on my YouTube channel. Today I'm actually going to go over the most commonly asked questions for hairstylists and hopefully debunk a couple myths that are out there in the hair world. So I have a ton of questions here in front of me, so I'm just going to start going through them so I could answer them as quickly as possible. So let's get started. First one is, are there any hair dyes which do not cause allergic skin reactions? Well, everyone's body is so different with how they take chemicals onto their scalp and color. Some people are more allergic to certain hair dyes than others. The best recommendation I could give is obviously use a color line that has like the lowest amount of ammonia concentrate possible to help prevent any allergic reactions. Most clients who do sit in your chair, if they have had a reaction in the past, they definitely have already known it, and hopefully they will tell you that. And that is also a good question to ask when you do have a new client sitting in your chair. Some clients tend to get itchy scalps, which it can be common. A little hairstylist hack: add a couple packets of Sweet and Low into your permanent color, and sometimes that will get rid of the itching feel. I have no idea what it does, but it works. I have done it. And they also make anti-itch drops that you could add to your color formula to help with clients who are a little bit more sensitive. Next question. Can a permanent color be applied over a semi-permanent color in the reverse? No. You usually, as a professional hairstylist, would do permanent color on the roots and a semi-gloss on the ends, or a semi-permanent color all over. I would never do one and overlap the other. It kind of defeats the purpose. One is a deposit and one is a lift and a deposit. So do not mix, do not overprocess the two for sure. Can bleach cause scalp irritation? You bet it can, especially if it is left on way too long. Can bleaching make me go permanently bald? I don't know about permanently bald, but you can lose hair and you can burn off like hair follicle and cause damage to your scalp if you get bleaching tones or if you are bleaching your hair from home. I would definitely not do that. I would advise getting your hair done professionally to avoid any irritation, scalp irritation, burning, hair loss, or hair follicle damage, period. Can hair break off when you overlap when doing a bleaching retouch service? You bet it can. This is one reason why I do not do bleach and tones whatsoever. I can make you look really good and really bright blonde by foiling you, but bleach and tones, it's way too much of, I don't want to say a hazard, but I feel it's not healthy for the hair or the scalp, so I just do not do it. Can hair coloring turn my hair green if I'm exposed to a lot of chlorine? It's not that hair coloring will turn your hair green. It's more like chlorine will turn your hair color green. So definitely water, minerals in your water, and chlorine can affect your hair color tremendously. So wear your hair up or put some type of protectants in your hair before you swim, or wear a mask, especially if you have blonde colored hair, because chlorine can affect that. Can I bleach or color my hair during my menstrual cycle? Yes, you definitely can. Can I bleach my hair after it's been permanently straightened? You can. However, I would really advise waiting a couple weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, before you get your hair bleached after a chemically straightened service. The hair can tend to be a little bit more fragile, and I probably would not use as high as a peroxide on the hair. I would even possibly do a test strand first to make sure the hair would not break and is strong enough to withstand the bleach. Can I buy different hair color dye and mix them? As a professional hairstylist, and you understand how certain color lines work, you can possibly mix two color lines or one color line with a different color line's developer, if you obviously understand the process of that, how that is. But if you are buying box dye from home, I would not. Don't mix anything. Can I color hair that has already been dyed? Yes, but again, obviously, if you see a professional, if they had a box dye on the hair previously, I would recommend a test strand on the hair just to see how the hair lifts, because obviously the hair that comes in naturally is the virgin hair, which is going to lift super quick, versus the hair that has the permanent color or the box dye is going to take a lot longer to process. So obviously the professional would have to mix up a variety of formulas so that everything lifts evenly. It might even take a couple applications to get through all that dark hair, but it is possible. It just depends on how much permanent hair color is on your hair and how dark it is. And obviously if you use like henna dye or box dye. Can I color my eyebrows? Yeah, you definitely can. Obviously, just be very careful of your eyes and do not get anything in or near them. Can I dye or bleach my hair during pregnancy? This answer kind of depends on the person. I've had clients that were very comfortable getting their hair colored during pregnancy, and then I've had clients who were not. So I think that's person to person. So if you're unsure, get advice from your doctor. Better to be on the safe side. Can you dye over jet black hair? Like I had previously stated, black is like one of the hardest colors ever to get out of your hair. It will take a long time, a lot of stripping. It's a process, a lot of treatments, a lot of services. So if you are going to be dyeing your hair black, just be very aware of what you are getting yourself into. Can you get professional results with coloring your hair at home? I don't know. I would say probably not. Unless you are a professional hairstylist trying to color your hair at home, but even then, I still would not even color my own hair at home. Nope, not happening. Can you mix hair color one day but use it the next? If not, why not? So that is a no. So most hair color has an oxidation process. So once the developer is mixed with the color, there usually is like a 30-minute maxed time that the color will oxidize and process. And once it gets past that time, it stops processing and the color will oxidize and it just won't work like it should at its max potential right when it's mixed. So if you are mixing up color, it's like one thing if it's bleach, that's bleach, that's not color, but bleach, even if you let that sit out for over a day, it's gonna get really dried up and gross and clumpy and not gonna be good anyways. So I would say no for both. Can you sleep with temporary hair color? I think maybe the question is, can you go to bed with temporary hair color on your hair? That is a hard no for me. Even if it is temporary color and it doesn't have a developing like lift process, it still is, I don't know. I just don't think it's good for the scalp to have any color on it for more than 30 or so minutes at a time. It's one thing if you're bleaching the hair with really low developer and it has to lift and process and you're keeping an eye on it, but permanent color and semi-permanent color is different. So definitely do not put it on your head and then go about your day for hours on end or sleep with it. No, don't do it. Can you tell me if there is a silver hair color available? Silver is such a hard color. I would definitely recommend seeing a professional who specializes in vivid, punky colors, because it is so hard to achieve, and not only to achieve it, but maintain it, because it's such a unrealistic light color that it will fade. The hair has to be lifted perfectly to a certain tone and color corrected, and then the pigments deposited on it. So I would definitely see a professional to get silver hair color. Does certain hair color make your skin tone look darker or lighter? I wouldn't necessarily say darker or lighter. I think certain hair color can make you look more awake, as in like brings out more flush tones in your skin, like your rosy cheeks show up and your lip color is a little bit more apparent, and it makes you look a little bit more lively. Some colors don't blend well with certain skin tones, you know, so it's obviously knowing the color wheel and doing something that's complementary for the client. If they have light eyes, they have dark eyes, they have ruddy skin or olive skin. So I don't know if it'll necessarily make you look darker or lighter. I think it's more will make you look more lively and awake versus like gaunt and like or washed out. Does color filler really help make your hair color stay longer? Yes. So if you are transitioning from a light color to a dark color, you have to fill your hair. If you are just going to be putting a brunette color over a blonde, that's not going to work. It's not going to last. It's going to fade out. And if anything, the hair might turn green. So whenever you are removing pigment out of someone's hair, like a brunette going lighter, brunette, there's so many different levels within the hair world of color, from like 1 being black and 10 being like platinum blonde. So when you start lifting through phases, you're removing pigment like red, orange, yellow. So when you are stripping darker hair color, you're going through all these color phases. So once you remove those pigments, and if you want to go back darker, you have to add those pigments back into the hair. I know it's freaky and it's weird from a blonde client to be putting like orange or red back in the hair, but it has to be done right and correctly and formulated for their level, natural level, for the brunette hair color to stick and to stay. Sometimes it takes a couple processes. It just depends on how, how lightly colored the hair is, and how, what's that word I'm thinking of? I'm totally blanking right now. But sometimes the hair color, or porous, that's the word, porous. Sometimes the hair just doesn't want to hold on to color because it's been lifted or fried so much that it just releases dye molecules. It has no protein left into the hair, so the follicle is inflamed and nothing is sticking. So sometimes it takes a couple times to get a darker color to stick. Does permanent color really thicken your hair? No. Color will not make your hair feel thicker. Sometimes clients, if they're very fine and their hair is like silky soft, sometimes adding highlights or bleach to their hair might give it more body and texture, but definitely getting your hair to help feel thicker is by using styling products and good shampoo and conditioner. Does it affect the dye job if my hair is clean? So I think if the hair's super dirty and greasy, yes, it can maybe affect some take of the color. I think I've had more issues with clients who've come in with like the root color spray and they have a bunch of product buildup. That will affect permanent color taking on the roots. So really make sure that your clients come in with a clean scalp with no buildup, no hair root spray, at all. So that will definitely help the coloring process much easier. So I hope these questions have helped. If you have any other questions you'd like me to answer regarding hair services or hair myths, drop them below and I'll answer them for you. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Click like and subscribe, and I will see you guys back here soon. Thanks so much.